Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of the MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley, Eric Myers here to bring you another great week in Potters athletics. So last Friday we had the Cherry and Gray game, right, Coach?
Yeah, Cherry and Gray. Obviously, a lot of stuff went on. We had, tennis, we had volleyball, but I guess people would probably say the highlight was the varsity football scrimmage, and it was good. We got out there, played about 50 plays, give or take 55 plays, I think, and we put together a short package that has some of the highlights of our varsity football Cherry and Gray scrimmage. So let's take a look at that.
Highlights here from the football portion of Cherry and Gray night. Potters operating out of the shotgun, and Brett Michael takes the handoff on the classic Potters counter play we saw run so successfully by Seth Glatz a few years ago. Brett gains 46 yards there down to the 5-yard line. Now Shaundon Buffington in at running back, and Shaundon takes the handoff, and he is sprinting down that same sideline. He'll go 67 yards here for a Potters touchdown. Highlighting the defense on this highlight, Paul Weeks with the catch, but Clint Teeter coming downhill with a great tackle later in the scrimmage. Some of the youngsters in, sophomore quarterback Matt Sander finds Tristan Hines, and Tristan Hines refuses to go down. Back to the running game here. Calvin Lehman, sophomore running back, he's going to take that all the way outside and then sprint down the sideline. He's finally tackled at about the 25-yard line, a 55-yard run. And then we wrapped up the night with this play right here. Defense makes the last big play. That's Silas Steffen stepping in the way of a pass and returning it down inside the 30.
So we look pretty good there, doing a little bit things differently, good handoffs there, throwing the ball down the field. Defense looks stout. So what do we have coming looking into Friday night's game versus Mahomet Seymour?
Yeah, so Mahomet Seymour comes into Carper Field this Friday night, obviously available on MPTV if you can't, and NFHS Network if you can't make it out to the game. Lou Smith, Brian Gordon on the call there. One of the things that I'm excited about, obviously Mahomet beat us pretty soundly last year, to be quite honest, 51-14. I'm excited to see how we respond to that, right? We've watched a lot of film of last year's game. I mean, quite frankly, some of it's not very positive when you look at it and you see the score and you see some of the big plays we gave up. So how do we adjust to Mahomet's attempts to maybe make those same big plays, right? And obviously we got Coach ONeill now, new head coach, new defensive style that he's put in. Can that aggressive style that ONeill has slow down Mahomet's aggressive offense?
Yeah, and speaking of their aggressive offense, good news is for us that their quarterback went to Iowa State as a preferred walk-on, so he's gone right there. But even though we watched that film, it's still going to be a different team for both teams, right? We also lost, our departures, big one on that offensive line, Ian Muchler, Jack Stump right there. So anything can happen. That's a good thing about high school football. What happened last year doesn't necessarily dictate what's going to happen this year, which is a positive. So 7:30 this Friday night at Carper Field, where you can see the Potters take on Mahomet Seymour. Should be a good one, right?
Should be a good one. Very exciting. Before we shift and talk about a few other things, let's go ahead and watch a short interview we did after practice with Coach ONeill. All right, welcome back here. MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley, head football coach, Adam ONeill. Coach, we just finished practice. Obviously, weather's a challenge this week a little bit. Had a morning practice. Just kind of talk about, you always E+R=O is on the shorts, it's on the shirts. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
So the idea is that we don't control all the events that take place around us. The only thing that we control is our response. So we want to make sure that our response matches the outcomes we desire. And our outcomes we don't always get what we want, but if our responses are correct, we can get ourselves in the right direction.
So let's go back a little bit. Obviously this summer, one thing that the IHSA changed this year was the ability to do 11-on-11, which I think presented a lot of fantastic opportunities. We had the opportunity to go to Peoria High, to go to Sacred Heart. Just kind of talk about that experience, the idea of doing 11-on-11, and kind of maybe where that puts us compared to maybe in past years.
Well, I think it gives you an opportunity, like your schedule's kind of set and you can do some scheduling and get that, and play some teams that maybe aren't on your schedule that are going to present some challenges for you or even help you get prepared. We wanted to make sure that we were playing championship caliber teams in the summer to make sure that we were prepared for this year and come out with a championship attitude. And so Peoria High coming off runners up. I think Sacred Heart was back-to-back. Even Eureka was their conference champs, and then at ISU we go and Normal West as conference champs in the Big 12. And we wanted to give those kids the experience playing against those teams and the best experience they have in the summer. And I think it leads up to we're much more prepared. And obviously I wasn't here, but the things I hear from the staff are we feel much more comfortable and prepared and with our installs.
And then obviously it's game week, obviously really exciting. Game one, just kind of talk about the process leading up to this as we get prepared to play Mahomet on Friday night.
Well, I think Muhammad is really well coached, and so we had the summer to get prepared, and there's a lot of film from the year before, but it's a week one, so you're guessing. You don't know all the personnel, you don't know, and how the personnel changes some of the things you do. I'd imagine their base is going to be the same, but you get an extra week to prepare and do some of the guessing game.
All right, Coach, we thank you. Good luck on Friday night. We're excited to be out here again. Our MPTV crew will be here covering the game. 7:30 kickoff here at Carper Field.
So due to the hot weather this week here in Morton, Illinois, 90, 100, some of those practices got shifted to early morning practices, 6 a.m. If you saw Jim Matson out there posting on the socials, morning practices this week, which is good. And Coach ONeill's got a positive outlook on this season. Hopefully get us through. Cool to see his biggest game that he's most looking forward to is the first one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a Tuesday morning, Tuesday morning practice interview. So we were in shorts and t-shirt, and we looked
hot.
Looked. I hope very relaxed, but frankly, just trying to stay out of that hot weather.
It was still hot. 75 degrees every morning, and it's going to be hot even this Friday night. It's still going to be in the mid 80s. So, but hopefully we can drag it out right there. So what else sports we got going on this week? I know volleyball kicked off their season.
Yeah, let's talk volleyball. I mean, off to a winning start with a victory over Richwoods last night, at least last night as we're filming this, probably 2 nights ago, as you folks are probably. Tuesday night. They got Normal West coming up, and then they're going to host the Morton Freshman Invite, so opportunity for the youngsters to get some action on the court as well.
Yeah, so if you have nothing else happening Saturday, we're hosting that here at Morton High School, and there's going to be both gyms going all day there Saturday, so best of luck to our ladies in that. Switching gears, let's go to boys golf. So on Monday, before we got super duper hot out, we had the Coyote Creek Invitational, where we walked away with a third place finish that was led by Jacob Anderson right there. So we've had a couple golf meets this week kind of postponed. I think we're still waiting on tomorrow's to see what's happening there because of the weather. So a great start right there. Our girls have already been having a couple competitions as well, so they're winning. Any feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I just think Morton Golf has obviously got a great history. I mean, we saw this summer Tommy Kuhl, Potter alum, make his debut on the PGA Tour.
I was there. It was awesome. We were following. So DA Points is also from Pekin, and one of my good friends that went to high school together. So DA Points got us some tickets up there, and we got to follow them. But Tommy Kuhl just following the gallery through, John Deere up there was pretty spectacular. I saw Potter's athletic director up there. It was a good time.
So, I mean, yeah, obviously, I just say, Morton Golf, great history. It'd be cool to see this next generation of Potter's golfers out there being successful.
Yeah, great job so far by Jacob Anderson. Killing it right now, bringing up third place. Boys soccer is open the season, hopefully tomorrow night, which is Thursday at U High. I don't think the weather's going to affect that. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Coach DeLong literally just about an hour ago. He said hopefully they can play. The issue is U High does not have lights, so they can't push it back. So, I mean, that's kind of in limbo, but they're hoping to be able to play if they can start at 5:30, get that in before it gets dark. So optimistic Potters soccer will kick off tomorrow night.
And if you're watching home, IHSA's kind of released some new guidelines where the temperature gets to a certain degree, I guess is the way to say it, that you kind of need to move practices inside, postpone events as possible. So we're just trying to abide by all those new rules. Girls tennis, 8:22 Tuesday got canceled because of heat. We have not heard yet on the Metamora match, which is supposed to happen this Thursday night at the Joel Stanfield Tennis Complex, where that's still up in the air. It's supposed to be 101 tomorrow, so can't imagine that one's going to happen.
No, I feel like the odds are against that. Again, our tennis complex does have lights, so maybe they could move that back. But again, just kind of, a lot of up in the air things when it comes to scheduling right now.
And the scheduling, if you want to look at, the Morton CUSD 709 Facebook pages, Twitter, Sports Pacific, Illinois 8-18, which is IL 8-18. All those updates are there, but I would say Twitter is probably the best way to go on that realm. Cross country still got a couple weeks. They're going to run on September 2nd at the Galesburg Streets Invites. And the girls swimming's already been started. Some good articles out there. I'm trying to get you as much information as possible. Just like normal though, if you have information, share it with Coach Lindley and myself. Sometimes girls swimming, since we co-op with Washington, is really hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, again, and we appreciate everybody, obviously, who has sent us stuff over, this last year. Again, we said it on last show, but I just want to repeat it one more time. Our goal is to take the Coaches Show this year and make it bigger and better. I hope people enjoy the highlights with Cherry and Gray that we had earlier in the show, interview with Coach ONeill. One thing we also, you'll see your favorite coaches as well. Again, we talked about people that we've seen a lot, Coach Zeller, Coach DeLong, Coach Byer. But one thing we want to expand on this year, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll see it, is diving into some assistants, right? The head coaches get a lot of the press, but those assistant coaches work really hard too, so maybe an opportunity to talk to some of them along the way also.
I mean, we're assistant coaches, and we need to love. We need to feel that love. and we'll get there. So we're going to get some of these assistant coaches. What are their jobs, right? There's how many coaches for football?
Yeah, we have. I mean, if you look at it, we've got 9 people when you include varsity through freshmen. Yeah,
they all have a job. Some of them have different things that they bring to the table. Multiple, assistant coaches in golf, even. Like, what does an assistant golf coach do?
Yeah,
I don't know, but maybe we should find out, right?
It sounds like a plan to me.
So, we love Coach King and power to you, but we're going to figure out what some of these other people do and how they do it, what they bring to the table, and get their visions for what their sport could be. Any final thoughts, Coach?
Once again, just a reminder, football this Friday night, Carper Field. Potters host Muhammad Seymour. Again, if you can't make it out to the game, we hope you can, but if you can't make it out to the game, 7:30 start. It's streamed on the NFHS network, also available on MPTV locally. Tune in. Let's hope the Potters get off to a winning start.
Let's hope so, too. Also, if you're thinking about it, MPTV would love, always need more technical directors, camera operators, all those type of people. So if you're interested, maybe a part-time gig, or maybe you want to see some of these events in person, feel free to stop by MPTV or holler to one of these videos, and we will get you hooked up with the right people. So for Ryan Lindley, I'm Eric Myers. Until next week, thanks, guys.